Hello, everybody. It's your boy QdAbArBeR. Check out the intro, and I'll be right back to y'all. What's going on out there tonight, guys? What is going on out there, ladies and gentlemen? So, welcome to the segment on my channel that I call Cutting Up with QdAbArBeR. Tonight or today or the morning time or whenever you decide to view this, we are on the very first volume. So we're starting at volume 1 and we'll work our way up. This particular segment will be speaking about various things involving who I am, what I'm about, my DOC, my story times. Once we get, a few more followers or a few more supporters out there listening on a regular basis, and we get comments coming in, we'll start doing live chats with the Cutting Up with QdAbArBeR. We'll actually be doing live chats instead of just replays for you guys to listen to. But I wanted to take the opportunity to come to y'all with volume 1 and just talk a little bit about who I actually am. I know people see me in the different chats and kind of just popped up on the scene out of nowhere, but in all actuality, I've really been on YouTube for a lot longer than a lot of people out there. I just was never really active in it because for the longest time, I was never really big into having followers and getting quote unquote clout and or having to deal with aka trolls and drama. And I think I'm just what they call a little bit too real of an individual at times. And like I'm one of those people that wears my heart on my sleeve, and I'm very passionate about the things that I do, about the things that I talk about. Advocacy, I am very serious about it. Awareness is something that I strive to give 150% in, just because of the things that I've been through that I'll get into over the days, over the weeks, over the months, and hopefully over the years of you guys listening to me, and or chatting with me and supporting me. You guys will learn bits and pieces of who I am, what I'm about, what I've been through, where I stand today, um, how I got to where I am, and all of those types of things. But like I said, starting with who I am. So I want to start off by saying this is a non-judgmental zone. Anybody, obviously, you guys will be in the comments. I don't have any problems with trolls. I don't have any problems with people coming on the page. I don't have anybody currently blocked. And I would like to keep it that way. I've had issues with certain people in the past on, different channels and whatnot. So I've erased all of that. I've unblocked, the people that I've had and different stuff like that. And like I said, over the weeks, months, years, and days, we'll get into, little topics like that. And I'll be able to touch on little topics like that. But one thing I don't do is I don't play and I don't play games. I'm very, very serious about who I am, what I'm about, my passion, my craft, and where I've been, what I've been through, and where I am now, and where I'm going in the very, very near future. And hopefully, you guys ride the ride, with me, and you guys will be able to go through that with me over time. Um, so, back to who I am. My name is Quincy Stewart. For those of you guys that like first and last names, Quincy Stewart is my name. My middle initials are AC. Um, my first and last name were given to me from my mother. My mother is African American. My two middle names, which my initials are AC, were given to me from my father. My father is half Trinidadian and half Dominican. So um, I don't really know much about that part of my family, which gets me into my next thing. Of course, I grew up around my mother. I didn't really have a father figure in my life. I don't know who my father is. I know who he is by biological name, but I've never met him, unfortunately, to say, yes, this is my father. Yes, I've met him. Yes, I've shook his hand. Yes, I've had an opportunity to say, where were you? No, I didn't have that. So um, you typically hear those stories about, kids growing up in those single family homes. Well, unfortunately, that was me. And most cases turn out pretty bad. In most cases, there are certainly um, rare circumstances that have success stories when it comes to single family homes, but I just so happen to be one of those people that believe in a dual parent situation is the best thing for a child to get complete growth and complete nurturing. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But yeah, so I am part African American, I am part Trinidadian and Dominican, and hometown. I was born in Orlando, Florida. I currently reside in Central Virginia. So those of you guys that are in Virginia, you guys may want to look me up. I have a nonprofit organization currently that I do on the side, which is called Army Against Addiction. It is a awareness and sobriety organization, and I'll get into that and explain that a little bit later. But once again, I do have that organization. As far as work, I am currently a licensed cosmetologist as well as a licensed barber or master barber, and I'm certified in the states of Florida, which is, like I said, where I originally was born and raised, and I'm also certified in the current state that I'm in, which is Virginia, and I'm also currently certified in California, Texas, and New York. There's a backstory to those. You have to be licensed and certified in certain states to participate in certain platform competitions and barbering competitions. And like I said, throughout time, over the story times, over the days, weeks, months, and years, you guys will learn a lot more about my story. And you'll understand why you have to get licensed to go to certain competitions. Certainly to go to Barber Nationals like I did in 2008, which was in Anaheim, California. You definitely have to be licensed and certified in the state that you're representing, as well as the state that you're going to compete in, which, like I said, was in California. So that's kind of how that works. Just giving you guys a quick um, intuition on how that works. So, um, back to who I am. I grew up in Orlando, Florida, in the Orange County area. For those of you guys that are familiar with the area, I grew up around the East Colonial, um, Lake Underhill, Orange County area. I went to University High School. I graduated in the top 5% there. Um, I had a few scholarship offers throughout school. I played in the band. I stopped playing football. I did football nine until from 9 years old until 10th grade. 10th grade, I had to make a decision whether I wanted to do football and go somewhere with it, or whether I wanted to follow my passion, which was music. At the time, I had been doing piano since I was four, or keyboard, and I had also been playing drums since I was about seven, eight-ish. So instead of keeping on the pads for the rest of my life and going, to the college league and different stuff like that, and or trying to go pro, I just decided to go the smarter route, the less physical route, because I was already doing physical stuff and physical sports. So I felt like that was my opportunity to break, and I wanted to challenge my mind a little bit. I wanted to explore the artistic side of myself. So music was something that really challenged my mind, different rudimental structures and things like that, as far as all things percussion related. For those of you all that know, piano and marimba and xylophone and vibraphone, they are all family members of the percussion family. So being a percussionist is not just being a drummer, but yeah. So I just decided to hang up the cleats, and I stuck with band. Um, did that throughout high school. I also participated in an organization, um, shorted called DCI, or a long form called Drum Corps International. It's something you can participate from 16 till you're 21. Um, it basically is categorized as a all-star band where kids and young adults travel from all over the states and or across seas. They travel. and they try out for various different groups and or drum corps that are located in various locations of the states. The one that I particular, or the few that I particularly participated in, my very first year, second year, and third year, I participated in a group called Magic of Orlando Drum and Bugle Corps. My very first year, I played in the bass line, and my second and third year, I played on the tenor line. There inside of the drum line for that drum corps. I then transitioned to what they call a top tier corps, or it's known as a top five or power five corps. The corps that I ended up aging out with is Boston Crusaders Drum and Bugle Corps. They are originally located out of Boston, Massachusetts, but they had a home tryout in St. Cloud, Florida. So I would travel down there, try out, and then of course they would have move-ins in the summertime, and we would travel, um, sleep on gym floors. Most of our traveling on the charter bus and different stuff like that, and I did that um, from 19 till age out with the same drum corps as far as that goes. Um, and I aged out from there as well. So 19, 20, and 21. Um, During that time, obviously that was in the summer. So during that time, once school hit, I graduated from high school and I had a few scholarship offers, but I ended up taking a scholarship offer that was local. My mom felt like I wasn't ready to go to an out of state college yet. So um, I took a full ride scholarship for education as well as a full ride scholarship for music and also a 50% scholarship for bowling, which was my half of my college sport that I chose to do. So I bowled anchor um, during my whole entire college stay. Anchor is the last bowler on a team of five bowlers in the college setting. It's called a Baker system. So that's something I'll explain as far as college life goes in a later date. I just wanted to put that out there. And outside of that, I wrestled college league as well. So the school that I went to was the University of Central Florida. They are a D1 school. They are a co-ed school. While being there, I also pledged in an organization called Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I went in as a legacy. My grandpa pledged the organization. My oldest uncle pledged the organization. My youngest uncle pledged the organization. And I also had a second cousin and a fourth cousin pledge the organization as well. So going into college, I kind of already knew that it, it wasn't something that I had to pledge, but it was something that it was about a 95% chance that I was definitely going to pledge. So I didn't really have much choice, but I mean, it is what it is. It was something that I don't ever regret. I'll definitely talk about pledging at a later date. Um, the positives and negatives, it's a whole lot about it. It's a whole lot that you can talk about. It's a whole lot that you can't talk about. But at the end of the day, it's something that I never regret, and it's something that I would do 10 times over and a million more times if I had the opportunity to do it the same way and or different, I would do it either way. Um, so that's kind of me in a nutshell, guys. I grew up with my mom. Me and my mom, we didn't really have I guess, a strong relationship per se. My mom was back then. My mom was a work hard, play harder type parent. So I would see my mom like Sunday, Monday, or I would see my mom like Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but like definitely Friday, Saturday, and majority of Sunday. My mom was MIA. She was ghost. She was out. She was partying. She was living it up. She was having her best life. She was doing her thing. She was a smoker. She was a drinker, living it. And I don't um for the longest time I held that against her because I felt like it had a portion of how I turned out um to do with how she acted as a parent. But then as I got older, I had to stop and realize that I'm only the product of my own environment. So I can't really blame anybody but myself on the actions that I choose and or that I decide to live um, in. So with that being said, like I said, I don't now hold that over her head and or I don't hold her accountable for those types of things. Now, what I will say, awkwardly, my mother has done a complete 360. She's married to a mega mini church pastor now. My mom resides in Texas, of all places now. So she moved away from Florida as well. Um, So yeah, she's living her best life. She's living as a first lady. She's doing the whole holy thing, and I have nothing against it at all. We've mended our relationship so much, um, and it's for a few reasons. Obviously, I got older. Obviously, I grew up. Obviously, some of the animosity and some of the hate that you have as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, as a adult going through midlife crisis, and now at my age you get in those times where you're going through that almost male form of menopause in a sense, if that's a even thing. But yeah, I feel like you have those stages now where you kind of just like, Um, what am I here for? What can I do or how can I operate on the same planet in the same space as her and make it that much efficient for the both of us so she can get something positive out of it so I can get something positive out of it. I think a lot of it had to do with me finally doing some things that she wanted to see me do. Obviously, it had a lot to do with uh, me finally getting clean off of my DOC, which is what I will talk about um, very extensively in the very near future. But yeah, my DOC was heroin, and it originally started from opiates that were prescribed through pain management. And once my insurance didn't even run out. My insurance actually just transferred and it lapsed. So once insurance cut off, I went to a program called Medicaid, and in the process of them transferring from regular primary insurance to Medicaid, um, that performed something called the insurance lapse, and that's how I ended up losing my pain management, which ultimately it didn't force me, but it ultimately drove me down a road of very, 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 very dark hills, curves, bumps, ditches, and um, it was a very, very, very wild ride and or roller coaster, if I must say so myself. A roller coaster which had me stopped at the point of homelessness, which had me stopped at the point of criminal record, which had me stopped at the point of divorce from my primary wife. But that same road led me down a path of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, down a path of I can't take it anymore, down a path of suicidal thoughts, down a path of knowing and understanding that I needed help, down a path of finally doing something about it for myself instead of waiting on somebody to give me a handout, and finally getting myself together to the point that I am today. Um, and here I stand years upon years upon years um, in the clean space. So, those are all things that I would love to be able to share with you guys down the road. And I hope that you guys stick around for those days as well as those weeks and those months and hopefully those years in the very, very near future that I get to share those stories and hopefully live chats and vlogs and different things and different discussions with you guys. Back a little bit more about myself. Once I came out of school for college, I came out with a bachelor's degree, of course, in music education. I also came out with a minor degree in communication and education. That led me to the path of relocating to go into my profession, my primary profession, which was teaching music. I ended up relocating, like I said, to Central Virginia, which is where I reside currently now. I worked for 5 years at a local high school. I did some freelance writing and work for an open class indoor line, which is a percussion line that is solely percussion. They perform in the indoors, like basketball gyms or field houses, and they have a whole entire season dedicated solely for them. Um, so yeah, I did those types of things and realized that in the place and in the area that I live in now, one job is not the type of work that's going to cut it. So I went back to my safe space, to my safe haven, to what I knew, to what I grew up on, which was cutting hair. I had been cutting hair on the summertime and in my free time since the age of 12. I used to come to Virginia in the summer times because my grandmother currently resides in Virginia as well. And my grandmother had been here from her previous divorce from her husband, which is my primary grandpa. So, how I ended up coming about was everybody followed my grandpa, which was in the service. Everybody followed him down to Orlando, Florida. And then, of course, that's where I was made, and that's where I was born, and that's where I was raised and bred. But in order to see my grandmother growing up, um, and coming through my years as an adolescent, I would have to literally come to Virginia in the summertime and spend the whole summer with her. I would stay, at her place while she worked. And, I would play with the kids around, the neighborhood or whatnot. Got really, 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 really closely acquainted with the guy that lived two houses down, was my best friend for the longest time. And like I said, the summer of I think we were 11, turning 12, something like that. Cause my birthday's in January, so I think he was getting ready to turn 13. I had just turned 12, like the January prior or something of that nature. But yeah. So he asked me one day. He was like, "Bro, do you want to work?" I was like, "Doing what? Like it's summertime. We don't. How are we gonna get jobs? Like at 12 years old, you can't go and say, "Hey, I want to flip burgers at Burger King or at McDonald's," or because they're gonna look at you and laugh and be like, "Holler back at us when we're 15 or 16 or whatever the legal age to work." So, come to find out, his uncle owned a chain of barbershops, which is one of the bigger shops around Central Virginia. And at the time, he had five locations. He had two beauty salons. He had one full service parlor, which was super upscale for like the quote unquote rich people. And then he had like two hood style barbershops or urban quote unquote style barbershops that he would let younger people and or people that were working on getting their license go in. They were located in urban areas of Central Virginia, and he would have younger guys come in and sweep up the floors and different things of that nature. So um, that's actually how I got started, which was sweeping up the floor in the barbershop during the summer times. I would be there every single day, and I always had a niche for drawing. I would always carry around a drawing book or sometimes a tracing pad or a drawing pad with me, as well as I would always carry around a pair of drumsticks. So my boss would always notice I kept drumsticks around, as well as I kept pens and I kept my drawing books around. One thing that always would bother my boss that he would notice was typical kids my age would always be smart and they would draw in pencil. Why? Because if you mess up and you write in pencil, you can erase it. He had a pet peeve that he hated about me, and it was the fact that I would never draw in pencil. I always was difficult. I was always the person that drew in pen every single day, no matter what it was, whether I was working on a character, whether I was working on buildings, whether I was working on shading, whether I was working on graffiti style tagging. It didn't matter what it was. I was drawing in pen, regardless of what it was. So one day he came up to me and he asked me, "Can I ask you a question? Why do you draw in pen?" I have no clue why it came out my mouth the way it did, why I was so confident. It could have been a sign for God. It could have been God just going through my voice box at that particular time to show me that it was a blessing that I was naturally gonna have. I have no clue why it came out the way it did. And I thought about it after, and I think I apologized like 2 days in a row because I was super smart, like smart mouthed about it. But I was like, I draw in pen because I don't mess up, quote unquote. And I turned around and walked away. And like, I think I went in the bathroom and I was thinking in my mind, like, holy shit, I just said that to an adult. Like, I'm about to get my ass whipped when I go home. Pardon my language. But yeah, so it's something that you really just didn't do, especially not the way I grew up. So, moral of the story is he didn't say too much to me for the rest of the day. I really thought I was gonna get my ass whipped, but I didn't. And ironically, he came back around the very, very, very next day, and he said, "You know what? You got a point." In every drawing that he saw, he noticed that I never messed up, ever. Never messed up, no matter what I was doing. I don't think I was perfect. I'm pretty sure the next person out here would think that my work wasn't perfect. But what I will say is, he knew that my work was good enough to be able to see the vision of an individual to be able to be molded at the age that I was. He asked me, pulled me to the side, have you ever thought about cutting hair? I know you're young. I know you're not old enough to work right now, but if I tell you that I could give you a job other than sweeping up, if I tell you that you can make some real money other than sweeping up and making $25 a day, which at that time when I was 12 years old, $25 every single day, every summer, and I was working 7 days a week and I was not spending no money because my grandma spoiled me to death all summer. And I would go back home to Florida with like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that I had saved all summer long. Like, I was big shit when I went back to school for like the whole first semester. Then I was back to being broke. But neither here nor there. You couldn't tell me anything until my mom caught on at the fact that I was making pretty good money at a very, very, very minimalistic age. And then she caught on and she was like, oh, yeah, no, this ain't finna go down like this. You finna start buying your own shoes, your own school supplies, your own book. I was like, well, damn. So, once again, pardon my language, but that ended that very quickly. But now that I think about it, I'm definitely glad that I started fending for myself at a young age because it's taught me over the years how to appreciate a dollar, how to work very hard for a dollar, and how to not take anything for granted, and how to be able to work for something, regardless on what I'm going through in life, whether I'm addicted to a drug or whether I am rich out of my mind or whether I hit the lottery or whether I'm being spoiled by a wife or a girlfriend or whatever the case may be or whatever the situation that may unfold in front of my face at that particular time, I still knew how to appreciate a dollar, how to work hard for a dollar, how to go out there and make a way and pave a way when there was really no way to make a way or pave a way in front of me. I would always be able to know those skills that I learned at a very, very young age. So that's how I got involved in barbering. And once again, I'll touch those topics at a later date because it's a lot more to the subject. It's a lot more that I want to tell you guys. But once again, sticking to The basis of today's topic, who am I? I'm Quincy Stewart. I'm Q. I'm who you know me by on YouTube and or quote unquote Facebook as Q the Barber. I'm the guy that's gonna give it to you real. I'm the guy that's gonna give it to you raw. I'm the guy that is an advocate for the army against addiction, awareness and recovery. I am a sober individual fighting against an addictive lifestyle. I am a licensed hair professional that each and every single day I get behind my barber chair. I say my motto out loud to myself before I take on my very first client, and my motto is as such: through talents and through testimony, I strive to change lives one haircut at a time. If I talk to 10 people, if 10 people listen to this video, or if 10 people listen to this stream, or if 10 people click on my channel, and I have the ability to touch one, that one person that I touched that clicked subscribe or clicked like or left a comment, now in my eyes, they join my army. They join the society of people that are fighting against the lost as opposed of people that are fighting against each other. My goal here is to have a channel that's peaceful, that's drama free, that loves being able to provide knowledge, that loves being able to answer questions in the best form and way that I know possible, which is reality and realness and straight facts. That's all I grew up on. That's all I know. One thing about me, never been a liar. I've never been that type of person that's going to string along a person. Two things for certain. I'm always going to be that person that's going to give 150% and regardless in what I am doing. Why? Because I know at some point in time I'm going to have a bad day. If and when I do manage to have a bad day, if I'm giving 150% every other day and I manage to have one bad day slip in, or if my good days are at 150% and I have a bad day and my bad day is only at 100%, guess what? I'm still doing good enough. I'm still doing well enough, and I'm still doing enough in general to get by in an acceptable and a successful manner. Once again, you guys are cutting up with QdAbArBeR. This is volume 1. Episode today was Who is Q, or Who Am I? Hopefully you've learned a little bit about me now. Hopefully you'll stick around for the next episode. Hopefully you'll leave a like. Hopefully you'll leave a comment. Hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I touched at least one person. Hopefully you learned at least one thing about me today that's positive. All positive comments are acceptable. Hey, the negative ones, I'll take those too because I turn those into positivity. In turn, they develop something called motivation for me to continue to go forward each and every single day to do better, to strive to do better, to achieve better, to do more. So, either way, I'm gonna keep pressing forward. I do want to say thank you before I get out of here to um, a few very, very, very important people that I've met on the YouTube platform thus far. First of all, I do shout outs that scroll across the screen. I put it as a shout out section because regardless on whether it's your birthday, regardless on whether you did something positive for me, regardless on whether you touch me, in a positive light or you encourage me in a positive manner, anything of those natures or in those type of categories, that's going to get you in that shout out section. I really, really, really appreciate all of the people. I apologize. That was my alarm letting me know that it was time to cut. So, once again, like I said, before I get out of here, my shout out section. I want to give a huge shout out to my homegirl, Sharon, spilling the tea with Sharon V. She had a whole lot of people doubting her, a whole lot of people that was against her, a whole lot of people that was on her ass, a whole lot of people that wasn't rocking with her. She got people like Big Bed Bug biting bobblehead, babbling with bobbles against her. Guess what? Sharon proved that bitch wrong. Pardon my language. She got people like Nitty, Woody Woo Woo, Daddy, Long Stroke. She got people like that. From the D, she proved his ass wrong. She got people like Angie Reacts. She got her words so damn mixed up now. She wanna jump back on the bandwagon and be Sharon's friend now because she knows she got smacked in the mouth with embarrassment because she was damn dead ass wrong. So if you can't beat them, you ain't got no other choice but to join them because she knows that when Sharon get out, she finna dig in that ass. Pardon my language once again. But this is just how I feel. That's the reality of the situation. Once again, like I said, shout outs to my homegirl Sharon V. You had a lot of people against you, girl. I can truly and honestly say you have shut everybody on the YouTube platform up because you are doing your damn thing. Keep on pressing forward, girl. You got it. Anything I can do to help, whether I got to pull it out of my own pocket or whether I can donate it from my account to yours, please call me, please text me, let me know, and you got it. What's mine is yours. I got you. I also want to give a huge shout out to her right hand man, Rich. Rich is over there holding down, spilling the tea with Sharon V right now in Sharon's absence while she's at recovery doing her thing and getting herself together. Rich jumped in there head first, face first, with no scuba gear on, with no oxygen, and he jumped in there like a Navy SEAL, like a Marine. He went in there with a scuba diving certificate and he's holding it down. He is holding it down over there on the channel, spilling the tea with Sharon V. Rich is holding it down over there for Sharon in her absence. He is holding down all the accounts. He is posting all of the updates. He is going on live. He is making sure to record her updates, to record the phone conversation, to keep the people in the know, to keep the people motivated, to keep the uploads coming, to keep the subscriber count going up, to keep the money and the revenue going in. I've never seen anybody raise their hand and go, I got you. That's something I would do. But it's hard to find other people that are just as genuine nowadays because people always have ulterior motives or motives. Sorry, excuse me. So, Rich, I salute you for that, my brother. That's very, very rare and that's very stand up of you. She is going to forever, ever be grateful. And us as her community, I can't thank you enough, my brother, because just to know I can wake up every single day and see a positive update and know you on top of it, that means the world. So salute to Rich. That's my number two. Want to give a huge shout out to my homegirl Pink Moji. Had a brief run in with her, and before it went left, she addressed it and she corrected. So I wanted to publicly come on and say huge shout outs to you for recognizing real and being real enough to confront reality and address situations in a positive manner and shut the naysayers up before any type of drama or any type of misdirection had occurred. So for that, you will forever have my support in any and all things that you got going on. So shout outs to Pink Moji. I also want to shout my homegirl Belinda out. Y'all listen, for all the females that is in the makeup, in the eyebrows, in the blush, foundations, any of those types of things, listen. When I say homegirl is doing her thing, y'all, like she got me ready. I done went to school for cosmetology. I done went to school for barbering twice so I could be classified as a master so I can instruct. She got me ready to look up online and go back to school for artistry, which is the makeup category, just so that way I can learn how to apply the blending foundations And I don't even think she went to school, but she's that great at what she does, y'all. Like, she's amazing at what she does. If y'all got 2 and 3 free moments of your time, please go over there and go check out her channel. It's Belinda MUA, I think. Please go holler at her. She's in a lot of my comments. Y'all can check her out. Pull up one of my videos, watch one of my videos, look in the comment section. 9 times out of 10, she done probably left a comment on, if not everyone, every other one of my videos. So she's super supportive of me. So me spreading the love back, I'm a support for support type individual. So I definitely want to show love where love is shown. But she's amazing at what she does. Next shout out, I want to give love to my homeboy T from the D. When I say it's really, really hard to meet a stand up individual, a person that you know that you can get up out of your bed every single day, and if the first thing you do, if it ain't to go to the toilet to go use it or to go, get yourself together in the mirror or whatever the case may be, when you do decide to pick up that phone for the very first time, and know that you pick up your phone, once you do pick up your phone, you know that you got a positive comment coming from one of your homies that's just going to get your day started off right, regardless on whether they headspace is correct, regardless on whether they 100%, regardless on whether they having a good day, whether they having a bad day, whether they having a messed up day, whether they having a worrisome day. They going to make sure to set their pride aside, set their situation aside, to make sure that you got motivation for your day so you can get through. That's what you call non-selfish. That's what you call an individual that is stand up. That's what you call an individual that is an ace. That's what you call somebody that you want to be your right hand man, or somebody that you want to be your ace, as a female would call one of her homegirls. When I say this homie, T from the D, he done been through a whole lot, y'all. And hopefully, through time, I'll get an opportunity to chat with him one on one on the stream. And y'all get to be able to hear the playback, hopefully. And y'all get to hear some touching and some serious topics that we discuss, hopefully. It's something that I'm still going to run by him and see if he's cool with it. But yeah, hopefully we got ideas to bring y'all as a 1-2 combo. But when I say this dude is one of those type of individuals that's gonna support, and he don't support everybody. So for him to be the type of person that supports you, you gotta be a real individual. So to know that I got him on my team, I take that to heart. And just know that I'm rocking with him. I'm holding him down. He holding me down, so I'm holding him down. I got his back just like he got mine. So shout outs to my boy T from the D. My last two of the night or the day or the morning, whatever you listening, is going to be Nature's channel. When I say out of all of the channels that I watch right now, as far as awareness and as far as anti-enablement, when I say nature has the realest, most to the point channel that I have found thus far on the YouTube platform, I mean that wholeheartedly. Nature puts so much dedication in delivering a positive message as well as a very, very, very effective message, a long while being a real enough individual to accept the positive and the negative comments that come in the channel and on the comments after she posts, and still continuing to move forward through it all and not letting up the gas at all, because nature is very, 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 very passionate about stopping enabling individuals. Nature has my support. Hopefully, nature has y'all support now that I have shouted nature's channel out. Please go check out nature's channel. Nature has a ton, and I mean a ton, of amazing anti enablement videos that you guys need to check out. They are very much to the point, they are very much real, they're very much true. Please go check them out. And lastly, for the night, last but not least, my last shout out goes out to my homegirl Connie M. Connie M also has a channel that she's been doing for a while. Connie just got a new computer. Connie is doing her thing on CapCut as far as editing those videos. And Connie is bringing the heat. Each and every video that I see that Connie posts is getting better and better and better and better. I really, really, really hope that y'all take the time out to go check those channels out. I really, really hope that y'all enjoyed learning who I am tonight. I understand that listening to an individual sometimes gets a little bit tedious. I understand that listening to an individual and not being able to respond is a little bit different than what you guys are used to. So, my goal with you guys listening to me is hopefully that you actually took the time to do exactly what I needed you to do, which is actually listen and learn who I really am, instead of being able to cut an individual off or instead of being able to change the subject. But just listen, learn me as an individual. You get what I'm saying? Volume 1. Who is Quincy? Who is Q? Who is QdAbArBeR? Now you know. This is Cutting Up with QdAbArBeR. This was volume 1. Please stay blessed. Please stay prayed up. Please stay motivated in each and every single thing that you do moving forward. And I hope to see you guys in the comments. And I hope that you guys are here for volume 2. Until then, understand, through talents and testimony, I strive to change lives one haircut at a time. This is your boy, QdAbArBeR. Awareness is what I do. Sobriety is what I live. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.